Welcome back to the deep dive. It is Friday, January 17th, 2026.
It is.
And today, I have to be honest, I had to double check the source file when I opened it this morning.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing something, well, it's a little unusual. We're looking at a stack of sources from Tarot by High C that combines two things I don't think I've ever seen side by side.
Right. Practical astrology and speculative sci-fi.
Exactly. You have the day-to-day forecast and then this wild short story.
It's a unique pairing, for sure. It's bold. Usually a forecast is just, a list of do's and don'ts.
Avoid signing contracts, wear green, that kind of thing.
Totally. Prescriptive. But here, the source gives us the theory, the astrology of the day, and then immediately shows us how it works with a story called The Geometry of Meeting.
And that was the hook for me. Because, look, reading about planetary alignments can get abstract, fast.
It can.
But seeing those same ideas acted out by, aliens on a translucent space habitat, that's a case study I can actually see in my head.
It's a brilliant teaching tool, really.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today isn't just to tell you where Venus is moving.
Right.
It's to explore how the energy of today, which the source calls romantic realism and organic change, actually plays out when people interact.
Or when Lithari interact.
Exactly.
Okay, we will get to the Lithari and why they don't touch, which is just fascinating in a minute. First, we need to set the stage with the astrology of the day.
We do.
The big headline event is Venus entering Aquarius. But before that, the source talks about the general vibe of the day. It uses the phrase builds quietly.
Right, and that's key. Despite all the big stuff happening, the day itself doesn't start with a bang.
No fireworks.
No. The guidance is really specific. Let the day accumulate.
What does that mean practically? Accumulate makes me think of like dust bunnies.
I don't know. Think more like letting a photograph develop or collecting data points. The source warns you not to try and process every single thing the moment it happens.
Which is hard on a Friday. You want to clear the decks.
Of course. But this energy is different. Don't scroll through the news at breakfast and try to solve everything before your coffee. Start small. It says initiative and innovation align, but that alignment, it takes time to settle.
So it's a kind of slow burn productivity.
Exactly. It's not frantic. And that stable feeling comes from the first big aspect of the day. The sun, sextile Saturn.
Okay, can we just pause on the jargon for a second?
Of course.
Sextile. I mean, we hear this a lot. Explain it like I'm 5.
A sextile is a supportive angle. It's about opportunity. It's flow. It's not forcing you to do anything, not a kick of the pants.
Okay.
But the door's open if you want to walk through it. So when the sun, your ego, your drive, is sextile Saturn, which is all structure and discipline, you get this very grounded, capable energy.
The source calls this romantic realism, which to me sounds like a complete oxymoron.
It does, doesn't it?
Usually realism is the thing that kills the romance. You're dreaming, and realism is your bank account balance.
But in this case, it's the opposite. Saturn is the backbone that actually holds up the dream. Think about it. We frame discipline as this, punishing thing.
Eat your vegetables, do your taxes.
Exactly. But under this aspect, discipline feels supportive. It's the container that lets creativity happen.
So it's less clean your room because I said so, and more clean your room so you have space to paint the masterpiece.
That is the perfect analogy. It's adding structure to your will.
Yes.
The source literally says, build dreams that can stand up.
I like that.
If you have a great idea, Saturn asks, okay, now what's the scaffolding? How does this survive past lunch?
It's the difference between a daydream and a blueprint. Got it.
Now, right next to this, we have the sun interacting with Uranus.
Yeah.
Sun trine Uranus. And I noticed Uranus is retrograde.
Yes, that is a key detail.
Usually when I see Uranus, I brace for impact.
Yeah.
Chaos.
It's
Shock.
the tower card of planets, yeah.
For sure.
But two things change it here. First, it's a trine, which is the most harmonious angle there is. The energies just flow. Second, that retrograde turns the revolution inward. So it's not about blowing up your external world.
No, it's about revolutionizing your internal process. Instead of an earthquake, it's more like a shift in perspective.
The source calls it organic change, a window for innovation that feels natural.
It advises us to blend eccentricity with reality.
I highlighted this line. Simple, workable upgrades that stick. This sounds like the day to finally fix that one annoying little thing in your workflow.
Precisely. It encourages experimenting. And, this is crucial, the source notes that not every idea will work. But the process itself is valuable. If you've been doing something just because that's how it's done, today's the day to question it.
Low stakes, high reward innovation.
Yeah.
I like it. Before we get to the main event, there's one other thing. Venus sextile Neptune.
Right. It's brief, but it softens the edges of all that Saturn structure, adds a dose of magic, little compassion.
But with a pretty big warning label,
A
right?
huge one. Do not ignore red flags. Because Neptune can make everything look beautiful, it's very easy to romanticize a flaw that's actually a deal breaker.
So enjoy the vibe, but keep your eyes open.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to the headline, the major shift. As of today, January 17th, Venus moves into Aquarius, and it's staying there until February 10th.
This is a massive tonal shift.
It's not just a daily mood, it's a change in the atmospheric pressure of our relationships.
For sure. Venus was in Capricorn, which is traditional, dutiful, a bit serious. Now it moves into Aquarius, and the focus shifts to freedom, intellect, the future.
The source uses a phrase that just stopped me in my tracks. Think with your heart and feel with your head.
I know.
That feels completely backward. Isn't it supposed to be the other way around?
It's the Aquarian paradox, but it's brilliant. Feeling with your head means you examine your emotions. You ask, why am I feeling this? Is this rational? And thinking with your heart means your logic is guided by compassion.
So we move from being instinctive and sentimental
To observant and honest. And that leads to the core theme of this whole transit, which the source calls meeting versus merging.
This is the part I think people are going to struggle with. We are conditioned by movies, by songs, to think the goal of love is fusion,
You complete me.
two become one. That's the whole fairy tale.
And Venus in Aquarius just rejects that completely.
Yeah.
It says, no, two remain two. And they meet in the middle. It prioritizes friendship and autonomy over possession. It says, I love you because I see you, not because I own you.
The source says loosen emotional chokeholds, which is vivid.
It's vivid, and it can be terrifying if your security comes from, enmeshment. But the argument is that relationships need breathing room.
Right.
Attraction isn't about safety or status anymore. It's based on shared values, shared causes. You might find yourself drawn to someone just because they have a really interesting brain.
Love outside the lines. It says we might be attracted to rebellious types, people who don't fit our usual type.
Authenticity becomes the sexiest trait,
Honesty over harmony.
and long-term alignment over short-term comfort.
Okay, so those are the abstract concepts. Romantic realism, organic change, meeting, not merging. But I want to pivot to the StoryScope, the geometry of meeting.
Yes.
Because without this story, I think these ideas stay a little too cerebral. The story makes you go, oh, that's what that looks like.
Its world building is explanation. The story creates a place, the freehold of Helix, that is literally built on these Aquarian principles.
So let's set the scene. The Helix isn't a built space station. It's grown. It has these spiral arms. And the way it's governed is fascinating. No one owns it. You join, you contribute, and if it stops working for you, you just leave. No penalty.
That right there, that is the essence of Venus in Aquarius.
Yeah.
Freedom of association. You're there because you choose to be, every single day.
Not because you're trapped by a mortgage or guilt.
Exactly. It's a community of volunteers.
And the characters are basically walking astrological archetypes. Let's start with the first couple, Jalen and Irix. Jalen is human. Irix is a Lictory,
A being made of translucent planes held together by soft internal radiance.
which is just a cool visual. But here's the detail that blew my mind. They've been partners for 12 cycles, but they have never touched.
Touch meant something very different to the Lithari. The text says their affection is a matter of alignment rather than proximity.
That is a hard concept for a human brain to wrap itself around. We equate intimacy with physical closeness.
Of course we do. Hold my hand. Sit next to me.
Be in my space.
Yeah.
But this relationship says, what if you can be intimate without merging? For them, intimacy is energetic. They're perfectly tuned to each other, but they remain distinct.
And Jalen isn't suffering. He's described as reverently detached. He loves the space between them as much as the connection. He loves Irix as a Lithari.
He's not trying to make Irix human.
No. Then you have the second couple, Tess and Kaio. Tess is this sturdy, practical builder. And Kaio is, well, he has blue feathers and a tool harness.
He's the eccentric one.
He is the avatar for that Sun trine Uranus energy. The innovator, the tinkerer, the one who breaks things to make them better.
He broke a water recycler on a space station. I mean, that feels like a capital offense.
It does, but look at his defense. I broke one thing, but I fixed it better. He improved its efficiency by 7%.
And Tess, who is that Saturn structure, she doesn't yell at him. She smiles with genuine respect.
And that's romantic realism right there.
Yeah.
She values his eccentricity because it produces a practical result. She loves the result more than she loves the rule.
I noticed how they were sitting, too. The text says they were leaving deliberate space between chairs.
No one here sat too close unless invited. It's a physical symbol of that psychological need for space. In the helix, space isn't distance, it's respect.
It's acknowledging where you end and I begin.
Yes, so the plot of this story really drives it home. The Conquered Assembly has to fix a resource allocation system that was built on emotional urgency.
Which is exactly what Venus and Aquarius is trying to get away from. The old system rewarded whoever yelled the loudest.
Or argued most passionately. Anyone who has ever been in a corporate budget meeting knows this dynamic.
Oh, totally. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. The person who invokes a crisis gets the funding.
Exactly. It's a system based on reaction. It's volatile. But Tess argues we need something that holds up over time. That's Sun sextile Saturn again. They want a system that's durable, no matter how people are feeling.
And Kaio adds that great line, passion isn't the problem. Forgetting to review our assumptions is.
That's the critical thinking piece. They treat disagreement as data, not a threat. In a normal system, if you disagree with my idea, you're attacking me.
Right. You don't like my idea, so you don't like me.
But here, it's just information to help them adjust the system.
Then there's that beautiful, weird moment with the third couple, Hal and Soren. Soren is a Myriad who exists in phases, like partially there and partially elsewhere.
I mean, talk about loving an outlier. To love a Myriad is to accept ambiguity as a daily condition.
Hal says we build it that way, meaning we build the relationship structure to accommodate the fact that you literally fade in and out of reality.
They don't try to fix Soren. They build a structure, Saturn, that accommodates the anomaly Uranus.
So they pass the new system, but then the human, Jalen, says something that really connects it back to us. He says, it's not perfect. It would need revision. That was written into its structure.
And that is the organic change concept. We think a solution is only good if it solves a problem forever. We want the silver bullet.
But they didn't do that.
No. They built a system that allows for change without collapsing. Jalen says, we built something that can be adjusted without breaking.
And then the ending. Erix asks Jalen about them, about their relationship, and us. And Jalen says,
We're aligned, we're not finished.
We're not finished. Wow, that hit me harder than I expected it to.
Why do you think that is?
I think because we're taught that finished is the goal. Marriage is settling down. We want to lock it down.
We want the guarantee.
Yeah.
Well,
Finished means safe. It means I don't have to worry anymore.
exactly. We equate finished with security.
Yeah.
But the helix offers a different kind of safety. Safety in the capacity for adjustment. We are not finished means we are still growing. It means the relationship is alive.
So if it's finished, it's dead.
Or at least stagnant. A relationship that can't accommodate new versions of the people in it is a relationship that will eventually break.
So this is all very profound for aliens on a spiral station. But what does it mean for us here on Earth in 2026? The source breaks it down into some takeaways.
It does. And it starts with money, interestingly enough.
Rethink emotionally driven spending habits.
Just like the assembly replaced the system built on emotional urgency, we should look at our own finances. Where are you spending to soothe a temporary emotion?
The retail therapy hit, the dopamine buy.
Right. Are you buying the shoes because you had a bad day? Or are you investing in a system that supports your future freedom? The goal is to replace impulse with systems that support freedom and sustainability.
So maybe don't buy the shoes. Instead, set up the auto transfer to savings so you can eventually quit the job that makes you sad enough to want the shoes.
That is Saturn supporting Uranus. Structure supporting freedom.
And what about relationships? Romantic, professional.
The advice is to try the helix method. Try leaving that deliberate space between chairs.
You mean literally sit farther apart?
Huh? Well, maybe. But metaphorically, it means understanding you don't need to merge with someone to understand them. You don't have to agree with them to respect them.
It's about checking that instinct to cling. If you feel that urge to force an agreement or get immediate validation, step back.
And ask yourself, am I looking for harmony or am I looking for honesty? Because forced harmony is just a lie. Honesty needs a little bit of distance to be heard clearly.
It's trusting that the connection is strong enough to survive the space.
Yes. As the source says, connection thrives with breathing room. It's like a fire. If you smother it, it goes out.
So to wrap this all up, the energy of the day and for the next few weeks is asking us to be romantic realists.
It's asking us to value the person who challenges us intellectually, to value the systems that hold up over time, and to be brave enough to experiment.
And to look for beauty in the structure, not just the sentiment. It feels like a call to grow up a little bit.
It is a call to maturity, moving from the childhood fantasy of happily ever after to the adult reality of two distinct people choosing to walk in the same direction.
Aligned, but not finished.
And that brings me to the provocative thought I'd like to leave you with. It comes from that ending. We spend so much energy trying to seal the deal, to finalize the agreement. We chase certainty.
Because uncertainty is so uncomfortable.
It is. But the characters in Helix find their safety in the capacity for adjustment. So my question to you is, where in your life are you forcing a final answer or a perfect merger when you should instead be building a structure that allows you both to remain distinct? Where are you trying to be finished when you should just be satisfied with being aligned?
That is a huge question. Are you trying to lock it down, or are you just trying to line it up? Well, something to chew on as you go about your Friday. Check your systems, give your people some space, and maybe break something just to see if you can fix it better.
And try to get that 7% efficiency gain if you do.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.
Love outside the lines.